Books of the prophets, because we're always trying to gain knowledge. I want to read the whole entire Bible. There's no contradictions. Prophecies getting fulfilled all the time. And I love coming correct with Bible, because Bible is the basic instructions before leaving Earth. You know, I don't even watch TikTok videos, you know what I'm saying? I only use it for the filters. Every time I watch them, there's a bunch of stupid dancing and just trends that just don't make sense. You know, people selling their bodies for views and follows, but, you know, you can take none of that to heaven with you. You know, I use social media to read the Bible to the world, man. Because I love to read the Bible and I love to share. Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, it's about that Bible life because that's what I can do. And you could do the same thing too. Remember, the devil wants to bring as many people to hell as he can. And Jesus wants to bring as many people to heaven as he can. If you're a Christian, you're called to be a disciple. Please be a disciple and help people go to heaven. Don't get caught on with the world. You're not supposed to be a part of the world. You're supposed to live in it, but not be a part of it. Get away from the trends. Get out of all that stupid. That's just stupid. It's like you're practicing the dance or something. Showing yourself for views and followers with a quote doesn't mean nothing. Because the only quotes that matter is Scripture. If it ain't Scripture, I don't even listen to it. Inspired by God. The books of the prophet, Isaiah chapter 9. The government of the promised son. Nevertheless, the gloom will not be upon her who is distressed, as when at the first he lightly esteemed the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, and afterwards more heavily oppressed her. And by the way of the sea, beyond the Jordan, and Galilee of the Gentiles, the people who walk in darkness have seen a great light. Those who dwelt in the land of the shadow of death, upon them a light has shined. You have multiplied the nations and increased its joy. They rejoice before you, according to the joy of harvest. A man rejoices when they divide the spoils. For you have broken the yoke of his burden, and the staff of his shoulders, the rod of his oppressor, and in the day of Midian, and for every warrior sandals, from the nosy battles, and garment rolled in blood, will be used for burning and fuel of fire. For unto us a child is born, unto us a son is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders, and his name will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Of the increase of his government and peace there will be no end upon the throne of David and over his kingdom, to order it and establish it with judgment and justice from the time forward, even forever. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will perform this, the punishment of Samaria. The Lord sent a word against Jacob, and it has fallen on Israel. All the people will know Ephraim and the inhabitants of Samaria, and who say in pride and arrogance of heart, the bricks have fallen down, but we will rebuild with the hewn stones and sycamores are cut down, but we will replace them with cedars. And therefore the Lord shall set up the adversaries of risen against him, and spurs his enemies on the Syrians before, and the Philistines behind, and they shall devour Israel with an open mouth. For all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For the people do not turn to him who strike them, nor do they seek the Lord of hosts. Therefore the Lord will cut off the head of the tail from Israel, and palm branch and bulrush in one day. The older and the honorables, he is the head, and the prophet who teaches lies, he is the tail. For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and those who are led by them and destroyed. And therefore the Lord will have no joy in their young men, nor have mercy on their fatherless and widows. For everyone is a hypocrite and an evildoer, and every mouth speaks folly. For all this anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. For wickedness burns as the fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and kindle in the thickets of the forest. and they shall mount up like raisin smoke. And though the wrath of the Lord of the host and the land is burned up, and the people shall be as fuel for the fire, no man shall spare his brother, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and shall devour on the left hand and not be satisfied. Every man shall eat the flesh of his own arm, and Manasseh shall devour Ephraim, and Ephraim Manasseh. Together they shall be against Judah. And for all this his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. Well, that was longer than I expected. God bless.